The former governor of Maryland from 2003 to 2007. Governor, good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. How are you?
Well, good to see you. Good to see you again. This question about Maryland Republican Party has been knocked around for the last 2 weeks after Dan Cox won this gubernatorial primary. What do you make of this, Governor? Were you surprised by that win?
I was somewhat surprised by the margin. I was not surprised by the result. I saw as the polls unfolded over the course of the summer, Cox picking up momentum. And the bottom line is that the most conservative candidate won the Republican primary, which is not exactly earth-shattering. It was fairly predictable in the end.
Is he representative, though, of moderate Republicans who are traditionally the ones who have held statewide elective office in Maryland?
It's so funny. It's so funny you mention that, because I certainly was right of center and have been my entire life throughout my tenure in the state legislature and in Congress. And it's so funny. It's looking at the predictions with regard to Cox. It reminds me of the Salary race in '94. You recall that race? Ellen Salary, too conservative, blah, blah, blah. Last time I checked, we went to bed that night thinking Ellen Salary had won that race. So again, it depends on the mood. It depends on the headwinds with regard to national politics. Maryland governor's races are usually at least partially a function of the national environment. I saw your earlier interview with the chair of the Democratic Party in Virginia. They have serious headwinds this cycle. Working class, middle class folks are getting hammered by the Biden agenda. I suspect Maryland Republicans will try to nationalize this race this cycle, as Democrats did, for instance, in my re-election bid when they nationalized Iraq in a gubernatorial race.
So if you're looking at the Democratic nominee, Wes Moore, right now, how does Republican nominee for governor attack this race right now? Do you stay on the extreme right conservative plank that he has been on? Or do you come to the more moderate center? Because as you know, Governor, better than anybody, Democrats have a huge advantage in voters in Maryland.
They sure do. And there's a conservative wing of the Democratic Party as well. But if I were Cox or any Republican this cycle, I'd say, hey, I was in Ocean City last week. My kids spent $40, $50 for lunch. It was $100 to gas up my tank. This is the Biden agenda. This is progressivism. This is what the hard left looks like with respect to how it impacts, again, working class, middle class folks. Small business folks are getting hammered in Maryland as they are around the country. So I would put them on the defensive and make them defend the Biden agenda and how it's impacting regular old folks these days.
Governor, probably a lot of people remember before you were Governor Ehrlich, you were Congressman Ehrlich, so you know the Hill just about as well as anybody else. What's your take on the midterms right now? A lot of people have said it's, de facto Republican takeover, at least in the House, possibly in the Senate as well. How do you see this, though? And could Republicans run the risk of being a little too overconfident heading into the November election?
Of course, of course. If you look at these polls, if you look at the generic numbers, which are typically run Democrat, but are now +2, +4, +6 Republican, there's a reason for great optimism on the Republican side. And that's quite frankly without a primary messenger or a primary message. It's simply a reaction of, again, consumers to the Biden administration's economic policies and foreign affairs policies as well.
When you look at what the White House has been saying on inflation, does that resonate with the voters? Because they keep being told that things are better than they are, and clearly they're not yet.
Send your cameraman, send your reporters down to the boardwalk in Ocean City and ask folks how they feel. And by the way, ask them how they feel about the redefinition of recession as well. It really doesn't matter what talking heads or politicians say these days. People know it. People in fixed incomes know it. They see it in their 529 statement, the 401k statement. They know it. So again, talk is cheap, particularly in politics. Pocketbooks count. And this cycle, like most cycles, your bottom line with respect to your finances is going to be the primary factor in your vote.
Bob Ehrlich, the former governor of the great state of Maryland, we thank you so much, Governor. Good to see you again.